Hi, and welcome back to the Mayhem. So, just wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction into what we've got going on here. So if you look down at the table, you'll kind of see what I've got going on in the next couple of videos. Alrighty, so that's that old green 3D printer that goes in that enclosure right there. So we'll go through, this is the first video in the series. It's going to be a two-part series, so hang on for the ride. Hello and welcome back to the Mayhem. So in the last video I did an introduction on my 3D printers. In this video I'm going to start tearing down my old MK2S in preparation to get it upgraded. So follow along with me while we'll do this. I'll go through, explain some of the pieces that are here, kind of explain what I'm doing, and then I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of just fast forwarded video as we go along with the process. Alrighty, so here we can see the back end of my printer. We've got the power supply. This is a 12 volt printer, and it's going to remain a 12 volt printer. So it's got a 12 volt power supply. And then this is the electrical enclosure for the Rambo board. You'll notice, if you're an eagle eye, you'll see that I've got a belt that's loose here. And the reason that that belt's loose is because I took this pulley right here off. This pulley locates on the very front right here in this bracket. You'll see more detail of that a little bit later, but this pulley actually broke and was chattering, and there's another one that's right up here inside of where this extruder goes, and it was clicking pretty bad on my 3S that's over here, so I just replaced it. It's kind of nice having multiple printers. So anyway, tools that I'm using, I've got my little cutters and a couple of Allen keys. So I'll start at the back by disconnecting the electricals. So you can see here I've got all the extruder electricals go in here, and then the heat bed electricals go in here. So I loosen up a screw that's on the other side here. Actually, I'm just going to remove it. There's all the electricals. It's a big mess. So anyway, I'm going to take all the hardware out and store all the hardware off to the side. Okay. So I'm going to pop this loose here. I don't know if you can actually see what I'm doing here. But there's connectors here that I'm taking off. Okay, I'm going to work on detaching this. So I will pull. Got so now I'm going to tip it up here, and you'll see I've got. I'll go ahead and pull the belt off. So there's a belt. It's a drive belt. It's got two belts on it. It's got a belt that drives the heat bed, and also a belt that drives the extruder head, which you'll see in a little bit. So I'll pull this. This is a pretty good view. You can see the bearings. These are the bearings. and the steel rods. All right, now here's our heat bed. You see how this one's not removable. It's got a layer of Ultim sheet that's glued on the top here. It's got integrated heat, so this is a PCB or printed circuit board, so the heat runs through it, and then it's got a thermistor, and this helps tell the printer what the heat bed temperature is. This piece is not going to be used on the new printer or the rebuild printer, but we'll put it off to the side just in case we have use for it a little bit later, or if we find someone that needs it online, we can send it to them. So here you can see the carriage. This is the Y axis. This is the X axis here. So the next thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll pull the X axis. This is a pretty involved process. So here's our extruder motor there. You can see all of the motors are labeled from top to bottom. The top one is X, then you've got Y, then you've got a couple of Z axis motors, and then the extruder. Okay, so that's all the wires for the extruder. Guess we can go ahead and take all the rest of the electricals off. These are power to the printer coming from the power supply. Okay. And then these black and white cables are for the limit switches. So we have a limit switch located here. So when this goes all the way over, it'll hit the limit switch. And that's how the printer can tell that this is all the way over. It's part of the homing routine. And then this, when this little block is attached here on the bottom, hits a limit switch right here in the back, right here. The MK3 doesn't have limit switches. It actually reads the current off of the motor to tell when something is stopped or when it's jammed. Okay. So we've got our extruder cable here. Put it over off to the side. Let's see our other cables here. We'll go ahead and take our LCD cables out. They all run up to here, to our LCD screen. And we can go ahead and take that off. Okay, there's our LCD screen. All of the plastic will get replaced. The board will reuse. So here you can see the wire routing. We'll go ahead and trim all of that up. So here you can see power supply, Z-axis motor. All right, let's get this extruder out of the way here. I got a little ahead of myself. We're going to take and loosen the motor. It got really loose all of a sudden. And then this will come apart like so. There's our other belt. Pull the zip ties. Pull all the other items. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at this. Try to get you guys in closer so you can see kind of what's going on here. Okay, so here's my extruder. So you can see the Penda probe here. This is for Z-axis. You can see the heat block here. This is where the filament comes out, right here. There's two parts to this. There is the heat right here. So this big cylinder thing right here, that's where the heat comes in. And then if you look, there's a smaller cable. There's a smaller cable here off to the side. That's the thermistor. That's this little one here. So we'll go ahead. Looks like this zip tie has already been melted. It was pretty close in there. Then you can see some other parts. It's got a fan shroud, a little 3D printed fan shroud, so you've got a fan on the front that helps blow air out and cools the plastic as it's laying it down. It has to be very hot inside of here as it's coming down. So this is the motor that feeds the filament down. The filament enters through this hole right here, and then it's got a little tensioner spring deal here. We'll open this up in a little bit. And then we've got cooling fan here for the hot end. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start taking all of this apart. I'm looking at the timer on my camera, and I've been at this for 27 minutes. I guarantee it doesn't go this fast going back together. Okay, there's this fan here. I don't think this fan gets reused. I think we're getting a new fan, a Nocturna fan. So we'll take this and we'll put it off to the side. All right, so that's going to be the end of the first part of the video. We got all the way up to the beginning of the disassembly of the extruder. So hope that was enjoyable. Please leave comments, suggestions, likes and criticisms in the comment section below. Remember to like and share the video. If you liked it, share it. If you didn't, let me know. Anyway, I'm going to start putting together the second part of the video. I did get some exciting news today that the kit has finally shipped from Prague for the upgrade. It should be here at the end of this week, hopefully. So the reassembly video will I'll start shooting that here in the next few days. So I'm really excited to get another printer up and running, and I'll take you guys along as I go and assemble that. All right, so thanks for the mayhem. Thanks for watching the mayhem, and you guys have a great day. It got really loose all of a sudden.